So here, guys, we are doing the Eastern Conference preview. Also, we're on Facebook Live. If you guys want to catch us on Facebook Live, next time after you're listening to this. Tyler,
Yes.
lead us off with the ads and subs. First team, surprise us from the Metro.
Metro.
Oh, I'm going to do it how I did it.
Okay, good
And
talk.
I'm going to go alphabetically.
Oh.
I went easy enough.
I learned some letters, and I got my alphabet straight. So,
It was a big off season for everybody.
yes. Leading off with the Carolina Hurricanes. Additions.
That was a nice pregnant pause right there.
I gotta. I'm trying to sound out the name in my head. Schnetzlikoff. No.
Oh boy.
Was there a nuts in there? Schnutznikov?
Svechnikov?
That's,
Just because he learned how to read doesn't mean he learned how to pronounce. That's
Nope.
okay though. We need it. I need it around in my life.
Can we just restart this whole pod? Nope, we're live. All right, you guys all know him. Second overall pick this past year. Big scoring winger out of Barrie. They also added Dougie Hamilton, Michael Furland, and Dahan as a free agent. They left with Skinner, Hannafin, Lindholm. Those are majors transactions.
Sure.
All right.
Their owner is a psycho.
He has a new way of thinking, or he's trying a new way of managing a team. That's for sure.
I don't understand. I mean, maybe he just felt like he had to swing big with the Hannafin trade and just felt like he had to shake things up in Carolina. But
Dougie Hamilton's top 15, top 20 defender in the league.
I like
But-
Kelvin DeHaan too. That was a great ad.
Yeah,
I was pulling for him to
their
go to
defense,
Colorado.
He's a
their
sneaky.
defense is solid.
Yeah, he's young
They
guy.
have a top 6 of all top 4 defensemen.
has their defense ever really? I mean, I'm thinking of the last few years. Their defense really hasn't been the issue though.
No.
Like you had Jakob Slavin come out of nowhere and play awesome for him. Like
Brett Pesci,
to me, it's been like that elite.
Justin Falk.
Falk
Yeah,
was an all-star
exactly,
a few
Falk.
years ago. Last
Which I
year
don't know
kinda-
what's
he disappeared last
yeah,
year.
I don't know what's
but
happened to him, but it to me it wasn't the decor that they were lacking. It was
No.
like elite offensive talent.
Yeah, and goaltending.
Yep. As his age.
Which is my 2 questions for them. Who's going to stop the puck, and who's going to put the puck in the net? Because they lost one of their main scorers over the past 7 years, and
They're
Jeff Skinner.
I'd say their number one main scorer, right?
Well, not
I
last
guess
year.
if you're dating back to
Last-
Stahl, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was.
I mean, over the past
mainstay.
since he's come into the league, he's got to be their leading scorer.
Yeah,
He has to be.
Yeah, probably, yeah, because Stalls hasn't been there for the past few years, and T.O. and Sebastian Aho just came up last year.
Carolina.
Oh, Toivo. Okay.
T.O.
I think
I
I'm
wasn't
sorry.
gonna butcher that name.
I heard Terrell Owens for some reason.
Terrell
Sorry, that was T.O.
Wrong pod, guys.
Oh,
My bad. I just needed a clarification. My bad. That's me.
But yeah, I mean, I don't see him as a playoff team.
Nah, neither do I.
It's a lot of question marks and ownership that doesn't want to fork over the money to really make them elite, and they don't have any elite guys on their roster.
They're goalie wise, they're still starting Scott Darling.
Yeah.
And Peter Mrazek.
Yeah.
Oh, Mrazek. Okay.
That was their other free agent
Okay.
signing. That
How long's? Do you know Darling's contract?
He's got
Probably, 'cause
2 more
Tyler-
years at 4.33.
Because Tyler knows everything.
Yes, he does.
Jesus Murphy.
It's either 1 or 2 more years.
I mean, they took a gamble on Darling
There you go,
and
2 or
granted,
3.
you know,
It's only been 1 year.
yeah, last
Yeah.
year was only year one,
only
so
been 1 year.
I'm not willing to totally bail on him, I guess, but not a great start, Carolina.
No?
Nope.
All right. Moving on.
That was
Moving on. Yeah.
All right. The Columbus Blue Jackets. They added Riley Nash and Anthony Duclair in free agency, and they lost Jack Johnson and Matt Calvert. Couple depth moves for them. They have their core intact, but the big question for the season is what are they doing with Bob and Panarin? Because they're both UFAs at the end of the year. And
They gone.
I think so.
Panarin's already expressed interest in
Yeah,
wanting
rumored.
to leave. Rumored,
Yeah.
true. But everything I've been seeing is he's almost choosing a place just as much on the city as the hockey team, if not more.
Yes.
In Columbus, that's not really a place that's going to get you to stick around. If that's actually what you're prioritizing,
He's going to the Rangers.
Well, yeah, he wants to be a big market Ocean City team.
I will laugh in his face if he goes to the Rangers.
Why?
Oh,
I mean, as a free agent, you're not giving up anything to get him, and it really helps kickstart your rebuild for them.
Oh, I'll laugh at Panarin. I'm saying.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, it's a
I'll
good-
laugh at
Yeah, it's a
Panarin.
great move by the Rangers.
Yeah.
to get
Yes,
him, but-
absolutely.
Okay,
That's
that's what
also
you're
not really the Rangers. It's not really the Rangers' cut of their jib is to actually sign a good player in his prime
Oh.
at like a reasonable
Like
contract
a
price.
Brad Richards or Chris Drury or Scotty Gomez or Wayne Redden.
Was that Domez?
Gomez?
Yes, it was.
Guy
That
Gomez.
was with the D.
Yeah, whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Johnny Torts got an extension, 2-year extension, I
So
believe.
did
Attaboy.
John Davidson and Jarkko Kukunat. What's the Finnish guy or the GM?
That's what it kind of sounded like.
Jarmo Kakalainen.
Kekalainen. That's it.
Good reach. Good reach though.
Oh, you know, I'm not here for the pronunciations. Just trying to get you.
John Davidson, he's the president of Hockey Ops there, right?
Yeah.
He was it? Didn't he used to be like an MSG?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was MSG. He was with the Rangers. He's done a lot of different jobs. He was with St. Louis.
Wasn't he part of the Stars when they won the cup there? Wasn't he the GM there?
No,
Beats the hell
I
out
don't
of
know
me.
if he was ever the GM.
No idea.
But he might have been. I don't know. He's been around.
This is the Blue
Big
Jackets.
hockey guy.
Yeah, it is. We're diving real deep into Columbus here.
I think the biggest thing.
Oh, is he on? He's for Columbus now. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't even know he was not.
Yeah, that's what I just said. He just got a 2-year
I'm
extension
sorry.
too.
With the Blue Jackets, my fault.
Their
Again, my
main
fault.
brain trust
All
all
kinda.
got extensions.
I mean, it makes sense because they've put a nice little young core there.
Yeah, but
Like they've put a nice little young core together. I still love those defensemen.
That was my
Werenski
note.
and Seth Jones. Good. Oh yeah.
My note was young players need to step up or they'll be to the bottom of the Metro. Wenberg, Bjorkstrand,
Bottom of the
Wierenski, Milano.
You don't think they've?
Werenski,
Well,
he was
you can't put Wierenski in the same breath.
He's
as
a young
Milano.
player though. He's got to put up.
He's a
He's got to.
stud.
he a little.
Last year he wasn't
Downgrade.
nearly as good as he
Well,
was
he got
the
hurt.
year
But-
prior.
Hurt all last year.
Yeah, he got hurt.
But like he was still a quality.
I drafted
player.
Wenberg in fantasy. Yeah, he was great.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Second half of the year he was fine though. He turned it
Well,
around.
The
He's-
thing is, they have great young depth. They finally got their dynamic player in Panarin, who was a point per game player. They have their all-star goalie
Mhm.
when healthy, and they have 2 stud defensemen, and they have good depth on defense too.
Mhm.
They are a team, like I made my playoff predictions last year, to win the cup. They have all the necessary ingredients.
I wouldn't say all.
What do you mean?
They're still missing. They're still missing. Like yes, they've got Panarin.
got their
But
superstar.
where's that second? Where's that second big guy?
Okay.
Brandon Dubinsky. Duh.
Wasn't Wenberg their number 1 center?
No, Pierre-Luc Dubois.
I mean,
ended
Cam
one
Atkinson
season.
can score 30 goals.
It was his rookie year, and he had 48 points.
Yeah, but that's
Pierre's gonna have a big year
that's
this year.
not a
yeah.
cup-winning
Yeah.
top 2 center.
A little sleeper pick in fantasy.
Yeah, I think Pierre's gonna have a big year.
Is he a sleeper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he's fully on the radar.
I mean, he is, but he's
Yeah.
like
He's a
because of his
later round
stats
pick.
last year,
Yeah,
people are gonna draft him late.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I still, if you're a Stanley Cup contending team, that he's not a top 2 center for
No,
me.
not at all.
No.
But Cam Atkinson has proved that he could score goals.
Oh yeah, love
If he stays healthy, he's a fast guy, and he puts the puck in the back of net.
Surprisingly, outside of last year, he was rated the most consistent player over the previous 3 years. A little advanced analytics for you, for the boys.
Wow.
Fertile.
Wow.
Let's move on with that.
Deal.
Bob, why don't you hit up New Jersey? Oh no, we're going
That is
alphabetically.
alphabetical.
super not
Oh, it is
alphabetical.
next.
This actually is New Jersey.
you know,
Nice
wait,
job.
what?
You know your
What
alphabet
kind
too.
of alphabet is that?
The Metro alphabet.
Yeah, we're going.
Oh.
There's a lot of N's.
Alphabetically.
Okay. I
There's
was
a
like,
lot of N's.
what? Okay. Gee, I thought you were going whole. Okay.
No, then where's Boston and Buffalo, dude?
Well, I was confused at Carolina start, but I figured I'd ride this one out with Tyler. We'll see.
I told you I learned my letters.
Off the top of the dome, who we lost? John Moore, Patrick Maroon. Who else? Michael Grabner that we picked up late.
Yeah, I mean those are
They're all throwaways.
Yeah,
John Moore was the
nobody-
only like
significant.
Where'd he go?
he signed a 4 or 5 year deal with Boston.
In the offseason?
hmm
Oh, okay.
He's a Massachusetts guy anyway, I believe. He's only good in overtime for us because he wheeled.
Yeah, he's a good depth defenseman.
The big thing for New Jersey is, well, no, I'm striking this down because we talked about this too much in the offseason. Taylor Hall was all the way up here, getting 93 points. Everyone else was down here. Corey Schneider was hurt half the year. Kyle Palmieri missed 20-something games. Mojo, Marcus Johansson missed the entire season pretty
Is that
much.
his nickname Mojo?
Mojo.
I didn't know that.
Mojo, Jojo.
All right.
So the number 2 and 3 best players on New Jersey were out for, if you combine their games, probably almost an entire season.
You're gonna give me the if they're healthy thing.
If they were healthy, then they would have done better.
If
Then
Marcus Johansson was healthy, he'd be getting paid.
Yeah, if you get chicken wing by Brad Marchand.
I don't know how you guys stick up for that bastard.
Love him,
Wow.
love him. But we can
He
say
already
that for
cut someone's
Boston.
face open this year. That's another point. Regardless,
I can't wait till you talk about
if everyone stays healthy and the young kids step it up on New Jersey, they should equate what they did last year, bare minimum. That is the standard
I
now.
got him as a bubble playoff team again.
Oh, well, yeah.
If Nico
Yeah,
puts up
yes.
65 points this year, which he can,
Yes.
if Taylor has a drop back, but if he still puts
65
up
for
a point
Nico?
per player, point per game,
65 for Nico.
yeah, why not?
It's a
Shoot
lot of
for the
progression.
star, or
It's a lot-
what is it? Aim for the.
Shoot for the stars.
If you
Even
miss-
if you miss, you fall in the moon or fall among.
He said it backwards.
Is it
Oh.
aim,
Shoot for the moon.
shoot
even
for the
if you
moon,
miss,
yeah.
you land in the stars.
What's that?
Yeah, but the stars are farther away.
We're not going down this rabbit hole. I will cut that off right there. I will cut that off
Whatever.
right there.
Yeah, okay.
We'll wrap up New
Astronomically.
Jersey. The one thing that could be a downfall, just like last year, is our defensive end. We lost John Moore. Not great.
Re-sign Stevie Santini.
We did,
Cha-ching.
but
Don't you
He's-
perp him. That's our buddy's
he's a
cousin.
6th or 7th defenseman,
He's basically a friend of the pod.
basically.
Basically
Maybe we
a
could
friend of the pod.
probably get him on sometime.
Bingo.
Ty Smith, who we drafted 17th overall, he's skating with Sammy Vatanen tonight on the same D pair. How do you know?
Tyler's got his ears on the
Guaranteed.
ground.
If he plays well,
Guaranteed. He used the G word.
You will not make it past the 9-game mark.
well, I agree with you.
Okay.
But if he impresses,
Why not?
So there's a lot of ifs.
the Devils are, with the new Shiro regime, they are not unlikely to give young kids shots, i.e.
Which-
Jesper Bratt last year.
But that doesn't translate to immediate wins. And
Right.
if I would give you a cautionary
It's not
tale,
always best for the kids' development either.
Yeah, but if he's good enough,
Obviously,
play him.
Jesper Bratt, he had a great start, and then he just.
He came in, he put on 5 or 6 pounds in the offseason, he said, and he focused a lot on his
Oh yeah,
endurance, because he said it was just the endurance of the season that held me back, which was my downfall.
Did he play juniors last year?
No,
The year before?
he came from the junior B of Sweden.
then that happens.
Oh,
that
okay,
does
yeah,
happen
that's
with a
right.
lot of young guys.
Yeah.
Is they, they're just not used to playing the
Right.
amount of games a year.
Yeah.
A little cautionary tale as a Buffalo Bills fan. I know this is a hockey podcast, but we made the playoffs last year. Shit can go down real quick.
Yeah, but we're not throwing away like all of our good guys and destroying our
Just-
offensive
Or
line.
having
I'm just trying
players,
to temper your expectations. That's
retire mid game.
Retirement.
I'm trying to reel you in a little bit. I don't want to see you
Reel
let
in.
down, Bob. That's all.
I would say Sabres have a lot more promise to the roster, but I'm keeping a level head.
Hey, we'll get to Buffalo when we
Yeah,
get to
wait,
Buffalo.
we're-
This is my
I'm
my
trying to
5
put
minutes of fame here.
perspective, Saying
Bob doesn't get to talk about the Devils all the time. So
Okay.
let the guy have his
Yeah,
moment,
you know.
Jeez.
Yeah, I was rock
Just
hard
trying
for
to be a
about
good
2
friend.
minutes there. No, I'm not. Pavel Zacha is gonna have a breakout year this year.
Oh, Jesus, here we go.
Mark my
points
words.
than Middlestat, I heard.
He's gonna have 53 points.
He was really shooting them pucks.
He was. He looks like an absolute unit.
Man Rocket.
Czech Republic. He's got great hair. Got that going for him. He's still an acne face. He's only 21, so
Pavel is a good hockey name, generally speaking. It's a great hockey
Truth.
name.
Got a lot of good bad.
A lot of good
Pavel
Pavels.
Dimitra, Pavel Datsuk,
That's the
RIP.
first one you went
Bure.
to.
Pavel Bure,
Datsuk, Bure. Yeah, I'm curious that you went to Dimitri.
then Zaka. No, they're all in the same category there.
Shuffle right in there.
Yep, I'll slide right in. Devils make the
I feel
playoffs.
good about our I just forgot his name. Zaka Middlestep at.
So
That's how you know how good he is. He already forgot his name.
the biggest thing for me is the Metro didn't get much better or
Appreciate it
worse.
better.
You know, JT left our division.
Flyers, you could argue. JT
Yeah,
are a big pick.
yeah.
JT leaving the division does help.
But you know that could be the biggest addition to the conference or the division.
Division?
The addition to the division. That sort of rhymes. We'll get to Philly when we get to Philly, but you know, just for
JVR
From
coming
a
in.
competitive
division
standpoint.
you might be right there.
I mean, you got Dougie Hamilton coming in. I I mean, two different positions, but
Yeah.
they're both.
His team sucks. It's not like I don't think it's gonna matter much.
I thought you were just talking about like good players coming.
Yeah, but to really make your team a lot better. You know what I mean?
He's like a stud defenseman. It'll make the team a lot better, I think.
He wasn't even in the top 12 in NHL Network's top defenseman.
Yeah. Okay.
He'd be in my top 12.
I know he would, because you guys jerk off to Dougie.
My opinion is
Go hang
higher
out with
than
him at the
NHL
museum.
Network's.
Talent. I will.
What do I need
He's a
to?
smart man. All right. Just
I actually probably would hang out with him at the museum. That sounds fun. Unless he,
Hey, buddy.
unless he likes to hang out at like the
I think he.
Strong National Museum of Play style museums, then that's weird.
Yeah.
So
And I feel like he goes to these museums by himself and he doesn't want anything to do with them.
Oh man.
All right, well, that was making the playoffs. Simple as that. Out.
All right.
We'll move on.
Save that one for the.
Nope,
the
swiftly move
predictions.
on. No
We'll save
rebuttals
that one for the
allowed.
predictions. Who's next, Tyler?
New
Let me
York.
get-
The Cross Hudson rival.
Are you going to the second beer there, Bob?
Yeah, we're
this is
starting.
delicious.
Oh, I didn't
That's a pretty good one.
So which one is this? Who's got the
This is the Sea Spray.
sea spray?
Who's it by?
McKellar?
IPA?
Yep.
This is a New England IPA.
Who's it by?
McKellar, right?
No.
No, Garvey's Point Brewing.
I knew it was with a G.
Garvey.
Garvey's Point.
Garvey's.
Gary
That one's pretty good.
And you said we're moving to the Isles?
Islanders.
Islanders.
I mean, there's not a whole lot to talk about.
Those
here,
poor
really.
guys.
I mean, obviously those poor guys.
Poor
They
bastards.
lost Tavares.
There's a lot to look
bastards.
forward to in the future, though. They have a really good prospect pool.
Yeah, but
2 first-round picks will help.
I mean, yeah, they
Even
Back to back, you know, whatever it was 11 and 12 they had?
no, they had no
Yeah, with the
10
Wallstrom.
11 10 11.
Okay, sorry.
Wallstrom and Dobson.
Yeah,
no
Noah
Dobson out of the queue. Yeah, I mean they do have a lot of promise, but you lose the face of your franchise, and those players aren't ready for
There's a
2
new
to
center.
4 years. I mean, is Barzal gonna be the next JT?
Depends who you ask.
Who's the defenseman of the? Oh, Ryan Pulak.
Yeah,
I saw
he's a
something.
good player.
He's supposed to be QB in the power play this year instead of
He is
Nick
he's
Leddy.
an absolute
A
bomb.
cannon. This dude rocks the puck. Rocks it. I don't know if he can play, but he can. It's like Happy Gilmore.
He's all right.
But my
Happy
God, can
Gilmore.
he shoot?
Well, also, I know it's like sort of a light subject to touch on, but leave it to Bobby D to talk about it. After Robin Leonard came out last week with this whole bipolar disease,
Light subject?
No, not a late subject.
touchy subject, I meant, sorry, touchy.
Yeah.
You know, and the tiptoeing around the area.
Don't.
If he's actually getting medication and dealing with it with like a therapist and stuff like that, and he's not abusing alcohol and other drugs, which he was because he was suicidal also, and like he's stable, that also could affect his game. Maybe that's why he was so wishy-washy and inconsistent in Buffalo and in Ottawa, because he was dealing more with like things in his mind versus
Yeah.
trying to stop the puck.
It's tough to project sort of mental health states though on like their actual playing. I mean, it's so minute, I guess, in the grand scheme of what he's sort of dealing with. But
I know, but like if it's one of those things, we've all played hockey and we've all dealt with things in our lives. If things off the ice are a little bit more stable, your on the ice is
yeah.
going to be even better because our on the hockey is our escape to things in life. So if there's less need to have an escape, you should be able to play better. hopefully.
OEL comes to mind. Was it last year?
His mom passed
Last year,
away.
yeah, exactly. He was flying back and forth from Sweden, and everyone's just
Well,
itching him out because he had
no,
a
it
down
was
year.
2 years ago. Adam Larson was last year.
Oh, Adam Larson's father passed away last
2
year.
years ago. I'm sorry
Yeah,
for
2 years
OEL.
ago,
That's
yeah.
what I was thinking. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, I always liked Leonard. He wasn't great, but he was good on some terrible teams. And I mean, I hope he gets his head straight. And guys like Eichel and Botterill have kept in contact with
Rallied
him.
behind, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
You're once a teammate, pretty much always a teammate.
Love that. Love that about hockey.
Yep.
Love that.
Yep.
Unless you're Brad Marchand, you could rot in hell.
Here we go.
He's Furta too.
Hey, he was
Say
great
what you want.
pasta. all over
I don't
the
know.
great-
I
all over
couldn't
the
be
great-
his. I couldn't be his teammate.
Yeah, you could.
No, I couldn't.
You were my teammate,
Yeah, you know how many times I got mad at you for you taking penalties and we had to go on the penalty kill because I had to kill penalties?
and here we are.
Here we are.
Damn.
Got a point.
Damn.
That was the end of that.
Well, you have regressed in that area, so
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Majorly.
Positive or negative regression. I don't know which one it is, but who's their other goalie there? Just curious. Leonard and is it still Grace?
Yeah, Grace.
Tomas
It's still
Grace.
Grace. Okay, so I mean, Grice is still a young kid. That
No.
job, 27-ish.
No. He's 30.
Is he that old?
He's 30.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Why do you
was
say
at-
it so meanly like that?
No, well, I'm
He's
saying
talking down
30.
to you.
Yeah, right.
Well, yeah, keep your facts
Like,
straight.
sorry, I don't know Thomas Grice's age offhand.
Yeah,
I
he was
and
in
I was
San
all
Jose
of-
for a while.
I was all of 3 years off. Jeez and Christ.
31, 32.
Wow, he's 32. Right, I was 5 years off.
5 years off. A little bit bigger of a
Yeah, well,
difference.
don't forget, guys. They had some really big signings or trades this summer. They got Matt Martin, and they signed Leo Komarov to a deal.
Yeah.
4 years.
Cool 4-year deal.
Yeah, no,
Brought
big
back
deal.
Clutterbuck too, just in case that wasn't
No,
enough on
Clutterbuck
the
was always
fourth
there.
line. Well, they re-signed him.
let's be honest though. What is it? Martin, Clutterbuck, and Casey Cizikas is an absolute train of a fourth line.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
2012, the last time they made the playoffs.
It doesn't matter.
What
They
a
will
great,
beat the shit out of
What
guys.
a great AHL line that would be.
I don't even think that would be a good AHL line.
Well, because they beat the piss out of everyone. That's more suited for the AHL.
Eh,
Well,
not
you know
really, not
Lou
anymore.
Lamoriello.
I mean,
There's a lot more skill down the AHL now too.
there's still plenty of grown men that beat the dicks.
Oh yeah, but it's still matured. It's still
That's
following.
why. That's why the Sabres were scared to throw Nylander down there.
Well, he was down there though. What do you mean they're scared to
They
throw
were-
him down
they
there?
were
He was
scared
down
to.
there the past 2 years.
There's that.
Couple positives though. Not even sarcastic positives like I just dropped with Matt Martin and Komarov. One big thing for the Islanders is that they're playing like 20-something games of their home games back on the island at the Coliseum. So that'll bring some excitement back to the fan base, which
He
They
definitely
need it.
they need it,
Yep.
absolutely. I guess there wasn't a couple positives. That was just one.
Yeah, they can get Jack Hughes.
No.
They're not going to get Jack Hughes.
Nope,
think
he's,
I don't even think the Islanders will be a lottery team. Well,
what?
lottery team now is 15, the bottom 15, correct?
Yeah.
I'm still in my head like the bottom like 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They're not going to. I don't think they'll be in the bottom 5 of the
A little
league.
shameless plug. You could actually check out the Buttes and Bums to see who your bottom 5 is going to be.
Yeah,
I had him in my
That's,
bottom 5 to start the year.
I don't.
Our Buttes and Bums
I don't know
edition.
if I did, but
I
they're
for sure.
they could easily get down there. Goaltending's a question. Their
Yep.
defense was shaky last year.
Didn't
They
get
lost to
Buckner.
Han. It's gonna be
Wow.
shaky again.
Ooh, I didn't put him in the bottom
I mean,
5.
Barzell, he's gonna have first line penalty killers against him. So,
He was on their first power play unit last year.
well, I'm sorry. I mean, like
He ran their
shutdown
power play.
line
Even
guys.
strength, you're saying,
Even
yeah.
strength.
Even strength.
He's gonna
Yeah.
have the first line.
Yeah, he's going to be playing
Guys
against
against-
Crosby in his division.
Oh yeah, and then Bergeron. and
Better luck
he's
next
gonna-
year.
He's gonna be drawing all the matchups and see how he responds.
That's actually going to be fascinating, to be honest, because obviously he had an unbelievable rookie season, but
Playing Shelby
this is big
minutes.
boy time, all right?
Yeah.
You are now
Put
a
up or
big
shut
boy.
up.
You want to put up 70 points, you're going to have to follow your shit up. You know what I mean?
83 points, but I don't think he breaks 70.
70 plus.
Let's move on to the Ranges.
The Rangers.
All right. Not a whole lot.
Yeah, I say they re-upped a couple guys, Nemetsukov and Hayes,
Yeah. They didn't really bring anybody.
Brady Shea.
They
But
didn't
they
really
didn't.
lose anybody
No.
How long did they ink Shea for, though? He had
for 5 years.
Yeah.
5 years? I mean, that's a nice like he's a solid
He's,
defenseman.
oh,
back
he's
there, and he's
super
young
solid.
still. Like,
super solid.
That's at least
he's
well
a good,
done.
He's a good 2.
yeah, that's at least well done by the Rangers to
Yeah.
retain him for sure. But and that's me saying that I hate the Rangers.
You had them in your bottom 5 in the
Very
NHL.
transparent. Sure, shit.
I'm
did.
surprised. I think they're going to be improved from last year.
Why?
How the heck? Wait, hold on a second. How do you have the Rangers
Well,
ahead of the or below the Islanders? Really?
if you want to really know, it's because
Personal bias.
I actually had NYR/NYI. I had both of them in that fifth, the worst slot, and
So
then I
it
was
was, it
like,
was a bottom 6.
and then-
really.
yeah, exactly. It was like a little bonus pick, and then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna give the tie or the winner
To the
to the
Rangers?
one I hate more.
Yeah, the
and
Rangers.
that's the Rangers.
I really like their coach this year, David Quinn,
So
coming out of
those are the
BU.
young guys.
He's a really good young players coach.
With, Elias Anderson and
Yeah.
Philip Sheeta.
It's actually like Heike,
Yeah.
not a big deal. or
It was
anything.
close enough.
For Tyler, that was good.
Yeah,
That was really good.
Elias Anderson's sick.
Yeah, he's going to be
Yeah, he's.
a very good player.
I don't think he's sick. I think whatever the Czech guy. I think he's better upside down.
Zadina.
I think.
No, Heike.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about.
I'm pretty positive it's Heike. Eastern
But like
Europeans got
Elias
weird
Anderson,
last names.
he's got a better ceiling or floor. I mean, there's a better floor. I think he's gonna be like a good two-way second line guy.
Yeah. And the biggest thing that the Rangers have that the Islanders don't is Henrik Lundqvist. Regardless that he's, 38 now?
Yeah, he's still gonna
He's-
give him 25
Yeah.
minutes.
Poor Hank.
I mean, I don't know. You
Well,
look at
he
his-
signed. He signed.
I know. He doesn't
And
want to go anywhere. But
they-
there.
So somebody was interviewed saying that management went to him before they released that statement saying they're going to be tanking, and said, "Hey, do you want to trade out of here? Now's your chance." He said, "No, I want to be here. I want to be a part of this.
I want to
Let's
keep
turn this-
modeling.
I want to turn this
That's really
ship
what
around."
it is.
Yeah.
He wants that beauty lifestyle. Literally.
His life isn't too bad. in New York.
And if he saw his play the last 40
Thanks.
games of the year, he'd know he was trailing off pretty big time. So might as well stay in the spotlight out there in New York.
Don't the Rangers have a shit ton of picks though, like coming up?
Yeah.
Really?
Not like prospects, but like actual
Really?
assets.
That's not a Rangers move at all.
Well,
No, they
got
had a
lot-
good draft last year.
Yeah, and then they got more from the
The JT Miller trade too, didn't they?
yeah and
I think they got a couple in that trade.
yeah they got a couple futures, and if Tampa wins the cup this year, then they get another first.
Friendly? No, it doesn't look like so. So they've got one first the next 3 years. They've got 2 seconds next year, but then just one after that, and then the rest of it is cut and dry,
Oh.
except for a traded away 4th round pick. But that's just, I mean, that's the next 3 year window. Nothing crazy
Oh, that's
specific
all
there
that
though.
matters.
So it's really just
Nobody really trades past.
yeah,
that point.
exactly. So it's
No.
basically an additional 2nd round pick.
Excuse me.
I was gonna be
Who's
stunned if the Rangers really stocked the cabinets with
Well,
first
they-
rounders, but
They had
it's
like
possible.
9 picks last year.
They had a lot of picks.
Nine
Maybe
or
I'm just
10.
thinking of last draft.
Yeah, they had 9 or 10 last year. So I mean, they're doing the right thing, and they didn't give up any big money contracts. They're gonna let their young guys play and see what Quinn does with them.
Chris Kreider maybe have a year, or
He
don't
was a
because
BU
fuck the
kid,
Rangers.
right?
Yeah, he was BC.
Was he BC?
He was
BC.
BC. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. Attaboy, Greg.
See how I said it nicely?
All right. Well, good for you, there, friend.
How about Ryan Spooner though? I didn't realize they got him.
They got
He
him.
was in the Rick.
Has he
Nash
been there?
He was in the
Oh,
Nash,
okay,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
right. Okay.
They re-signed him. I think
Okay.
to a 2-year.
Yeah.
I think 2-year deal.
Didn't he do pretty well there?
He's a
after the
sneaky
trade.
little depth player. I don't
He's a-
know. He's sneaky.
What will be what their second line, third line this year?
Second line center behind Zibanejad.
Nailed it.
Zibanejad.
Probably shouldn't be a second line center, but
No, and Zibanejad.
But he's still
should be
relatively
first.
young, right?
20,
I would have put him
he's
at 26.
27,
27, 28.
Oh, but it says him right here in front of my face. 26.
26.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a year younger than me. He's still a young
Average.
whippersnapper.
That's not young anymore though. But that's
No,
not
but
old.
I have to start calling
He's
people
a
that are
vet, though.
25 and 26. I have to call them young now because I'm older than them.
Oh, I feel you.
Yeah, and my it's just.
Aren't you always older than them though?
I don't want to talk about it.
I mean, you. Whatever. All right, moving on.
Anywho,
Philadelphia Flyers signed JVR.
yeah, I hate,
Basically,
I hate that contract.
really?
So do
I think
I.
5 years.
I think they're paying him way too much.
Do you think it's just
I
like
mean,
a,
it spells the end of Wayne Simmons,
Yes, it does.
and you get the bonus of having Couturier and Ghost to spare on great contracts right now for a combined total of like $9 million for the two of them.
Ghost as $4.5 million for the next 5 years?
Yeah, and
Steal.
Couturier is
Yeah,
at like
no shit.
4.8 for like 3 more years.
Where is he? 4.3 for 4 more years.
4 more years. Yeah. So
Less than $9 million for those two guys for the next 4 years.
yes.
Sold. And Philly's stock in the cabinet's big time with prospects
I
too.
mean, they have Provenov, who's
They
RFA after this year. They obviously still need a goalie, which is their only real question mark, I think. Young
Yeah.
defense core is going to be getting better. They already have 2 studs. They got depth on forward.
Nolan
They got-
Patrick was bringing it the second half of the season.
Yeah, he's going to get better.
Even though I like Nico. Nico had a much better rookie year. Nolan brought it
Even,
the second half.
He learned.
what was the kid with the triple eligibility? Konechny.
Konechny, yeah.
Konechny started to go off. I mean, granted, he was playing with. I think he was playing on that Couturier line, wasn't he?
Yeah, with
But
Drew.
still, he was going
Well, yeah,
off
but
the last
he
half
gave
of the
him an
season.
option to split up that line
Right.
with Voracek and give him 2
And get some
scoring
depth.
lines.
Yeah, he.
And now, like, the second line's going to be Nolan, JVR, and Voracek. I mean, that's 2 very good
Very good.
top
That's. I
lines.
mean,
Mhm.
Philly's always been an interesting team because when you have like a Giroux and a Voracek up top, you've got that immediate elite level talent that you can mess with, and that
Now Couturier really cemented himself as a stud because they let him play an offensive game. instead of burying him
they
on the
open
third
him
line.
right. It just makes me wonder what, and who knows with the development and stuff how it
So-
actually would have gone, but if they opened him up from the get.
So he was drafted in 2012, 7th overall. Beginning of that year, he was, this guy's gonna be the next Crosby. That was his draft, and he fell. Then Philly got him.
Hey, don't tell me anybody's the next Crosby. Like if you're
No,
a
that-
scout
that-
coming up, don't put that on somebody.
Well,
don't
alright,
do
I'm
that
just
to
saying
them.
the Scott said
I'm
it's
not saying you. No,
yeah.
I know. I'm saying, but if you're a scout,
Yeah.
don't put that on a
He's gonna
kid.
be an elite level talent, and they're like, okay, he came in as 18-year-old, play third line, shut down. And he's like, okay, I'll do this. He did this for 5 years, and then they let him go, and look what happened. What, 73 points?
Something like that. He went bonkers last
Yeah.
year. That's all I know. 'Cause they
Great
loved having
two-way
him.
guy.
I would
He's gonna be a Selke guy for the next 4 years.
beauty off the ice too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a gem all around.
And Pavel Zacha is going to replicate his season of last year. Don't worry.
All right.
My notes for the
76 points.
for the Flyers.
Second.
Yeah, JVR. I didn't like his contract. I thought he was paid a little much. Giroux hit his ceiling last year.
Oh yeah.
I don't think he's gonna.
No.
I don't think
he's gonna be at 80, 70, 80
Yeah.
points.
Yeah.
Same with Voracek.
When is Philly gonna open up their arsenal of young tendies and give one of them a chance? They got
No.
like two or three of the top goalie
Yeah.
prospects. Carter Hart,
Carhartt's going pro next
and,
year. I mean, I don't think they're gonna give him a shot.
and Alex Lyon, I think, is another guy they're saying. I mean,
Yeah.
No, he's not. He's not like Hart. That's for
Yeah.
sure. Hart's easily their
but
number
Brian
one goalie
Elliott.
prospect.
When are they gonna throw the towel in on that guy?
Didn't Alex
Neuvirth.
was Alex Lyon their goalie in the AHL that went into like triple
Yes.
He had,
overtime?
like 80
and he had
saves
like
or something. Some
Yes.
ridiculous number. Yeah.
But
So-
they've been tossing him and Neuvert around, but those are just stopgaps.
Yeah,
till
they were
Hart
all
comes
injured
up.
last year.
Same thing with Brian Elliott. He's a stopgap
That's
tendy
what I mean, him
until.
and Neuvert, yeah, they're both similar. Like they
They-
can have a good stretch, they can put together good stretches, but
All
you're
the-
not going to want to go into a playoff run with them.
All they have to do is be decent.
I say if
They were below decent last year, and they barely got into the playoffs. They need to be decent with the team in front of them. Just have a couple saves. Do a 908 save percentage.
Yeah, be the
do you,
average.
do you
Yeah.
think how Hart's 2 years at least off then?
I think so. Yeah.
yeah.
Where is he now?
He just finished in the O. I don't know what team, but he was goalie of the year the past 2 years in the
Everett Silvertips in the W.
O. Or in the Dub.
Mm.
So, but he was goalie of the year the past 2 years. He's like the
Everett.
number one goalie prospect.
Mm-hmm.
But he needs some season. He's 22 or
he's
21,
98, he's 20.
20.
Jesus, Murphy.
So 2 years pro. See what happens.
48th overall, too. Second rounder, wow.
Hey, goalies, goalie.
goalie, I would say goalie.
Yeah, that's true.
Then
That's
it's-
good
Goalies,
point.
especially lately, you don't really see the first round goalies anymore.
Yeah, he put up some fierce stats though. This past season, 41 games played in the W, 947 save percentage.
Jeez.
Yikes!
Hopefully, he's the goalie that they need.
Not bad, Bob.
Got a gold and a silver under his belt too. No big deal.
Oh, big deal. Moving on to the Pittsburgh Penguins, cross-state rivals. They made a couple depth moves, bringing back Matty Collin for his third tour, and giving
Why
him,
not?
I mean, if you're him, why not?
Oh yeah.
He's be like, all right, whatever.
I know.
He's one of the truest skaters to ever play.
Yeah.
Got a great stride on him.
Jack Johnson, bring up some depth in the defense.
Yep.
Not too bad.
Yikes with that contract.
Yeah, 5 years is.
Yikes.
I don't know what the 5-year, $2 to $3 million contracts are beginning up to John Moore, Jack Johnson, and then somebody else got one too. It was just weird, like their
Ho-
bottom pairing defenseman.
Was
Why
it,
would we
Horn-
give him 5 years?
was it Hornquist? Oh no, you're saying defenseman.
Jack Johnson.
Oh, I thought you said another one.
Oh yeah, John Moore with Boston.
Okay, okay,
Like,
gotcha.
These,
Yeah.
these bottom pairing.
Yeah, but
defensemen
John
that
Moore
get
got like
5 years.
2.7 or something like
Yeah,
that.
he got 2.2.
Jack Johnson got 3.25.
Oh, he got 3.
Yeah, it's not a lot of money. It's just term.
Yeah, but still, it's weird. They lost Connor Sheary and Matt Hunwick for, cap constraints.
That's what happens
I
when
mean,
Botterill leaves, you know? They
the real
start
question-
throwing money at Jack Johnson for the next 6 years into his age 37 season. Good idea.
I won't even go there, Greg. I'll be
What?
nice.
What?
But the real
Jack
the question
Johnson
is, if,
1, 2, 3, 5 years.
yeah, it's not 37 though.
It would put him at 36. Actually, he turns 32 this year, so actually.
See what Matt Murray does. He has to
Yep.
rebound.
My big thing is with a healthy Derek Brassard in the offseason and getting used to Pittsburgh and used to Sully's system, I think Derek Brassard's going to have a.
And he was hurt at the end of the year too.
That's why I said
Oh, okay,
get healthy
sorry.
in the offseason. Huge for his numbers. You know what I mean? For third line center, I think he'll put up 45 points this year.
Yeah.
Be good fantasy all across the board. He'll be on their penalty kill. He'll probably be on the power play.
With Kessel.
Yeah.
Is it weird if I don't see him as any different from the Bonino role 2 years ago or whatever?
I think he's better.
but
I think he's more of an offensive.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's definitely.
Benino's a
I
shut.
see them as very similar
Well,
in that system.
I mean, they're being cast in a role, but one on one, I'd pick Brassard over Benino.
Yeah, all day. Brassard, when he played for the Rangers, was
Who's like
Was
50,
really good.
60-point guy.
yeah. Him and Stepan were like 2A, 2B centers there. So I don't know. I mean,
not a lot. I mean,
they still got Sid. They still got Malkin. They still got Phil.
Yep.
And
They're making the playoffs
Matt
again.
Murray. They'll make the playoffs again. And don't they have? They don't have a. They have a shit prospect pool that's shown in the Buffalo Prospect Challenge, but don't they?
10
Have,
to 2.
don't they have
10
a
to 2.
6-2?
10 to 2. Sorry. had to
Don't
get
don't
that
they have
in.
a really good left winger coming up that's supposed to like go from straight from like the minors to
Sprong.
Sprong?
He's been in the minors the past 2 years, though.
But isn't he going to make the jump to play left
Sure.
wing with Sid this year?
Maybe. Well,
They always
Genssel's
just
there.
get these guys that just like,
Yeah.
all right,
He was
you,
like a
you
second,
can play with
third round
Sid.
pick. They're just smart guys. I mean, that's what they have to do when you keep trading their first round picks.
Yeah.
They're high level prospects, basically.
And who's the one that's slotted to play with Malkin? It's like Aston Reese or something like that.
Zach
Aston,
Aston Reese.
Zach Aston Reese.
Yeah.
He was decent last year in the
He,
playoffs.
well, he's,
Yeah.
he's supposed to be another good kid coming up too, though.
Yeah. I mean, that's what they have. He's
It's like, hey,
cheap.
you put a mediocre guy with a player
That's
like
what happened
Crosby or
with
Malkin.
Sherry, Gensel.
See you later.
He
all
was
the-
a PTO at AHL level.
Yeah, right.
They got a long list of guys like that.
Nick Lappin. I got the Devils Rangers preseason game on. Devils 1-0. 5 minutes into the game.
Preseason.
Split season. We actually have two. We have 2 games tonight. We have such a big prospect pool in
Point.
preseason roster that half our teams in New Jersey and half our teams in Montreal.
Really?
Yeah,
well,
we only got
do that
one line right now.
preseason. Whatever. It's
Anyhow.
preseason. Who cares?
Let's wrap up the Metro and then we'll get into the Atlantic.
We got Washington.
How
Wait, I'm sorry.
hungover are they? Oh, you want to do
I wanted to get one last thing in on Pittsburgh.
something? Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
get
get
in.
in real quick.
In 2024-2025, Sidney Crosby will still be making $8.7 million.
Not bad.
That's phenomenal.
6 years from now?
How long? What was his initial extension? 10 years?
10 years and whatever, 8.7.
8.7.
Or no,
That-
no, it was.
That's insane.
That's an outrageous value. Sorry.
Well, yeah,
Done.
and then Vulcan like trumped him.
9.5.
Yeah,
Yeah, selfish. Russian.
but whatever. Like Crosby was like, okay, I want my cap hit to be my number because I'm a freak like that.
I'm just saying that's gonna, as this cap increases, that's gonna look crazy
yeah.
good.
And he's like in a bargain contract now because McDavid's at 12 and
Kind of reminds me of Jekyll. Sorry, just had to get that in.
no,
we
he's-
can move on to
no,
Washington.
He hasn't reached his potential yet, so it's not a bargain contract at 10 million when you're not a point per game player.
In 10 years, it will be.
I have a question for you guys.
Years.
We're ending the Pittsburgh
Yep.
question.
Yes.
Were the Washington Capitals this offseason the best Stanley Cup victor celebrators of winning the
I
cup?
think it was most publicized.
Bingo. I'm totally.
How
with
many
you
other
on that.
teams have had a rule made after their celebrations
Well, I mean, we all
about
remember
how they handle the Stanley Cup?
that the Boston Bruins bill after they won in what was it, 2011. But I mean,
The Capitals got to go party with Tiesto in Vegas.
That has a lot to do with venue, though, I think.
I need to see.
I bet you their
more-
bill was more than 10 grand.
Oh, for sure.
I thought
it was
the
like
Bruins
20,
was.
it was
gas.
like 25.
Oh, I thought the Bruins was way more than that for some reason.
I thought it was only like 10. Well, whatever.
I think the social media makes it
Yeah.
just conveniently easy to see Although it was pretty awesome.
I mean,
watching
the-
Oshie just
the
gas
94
beers through his
Rangers-
shirt.
Just-
Through his jersey every time he was in public, he's doing
Yeah.
his beer shirt.
Bruins bar
Wasn't he
tab was
doing that?
$157,000, boys.
I forgot a zero. Sorry.
$157,000.
But like the '94
Forgot two
Rangers
zeros.
partied so hard
Zeros, 2 3 0.
that the Philip, whatever his name is, the keeper of the cup, has to travel with the cup now. That's how hard they partied.
Who did?
The '94 Rangers.
Huh?
After them, there was rumored strip clubs.
That's what I need to start hearing more
Yeah.
stories coming out of historical info with this cup and seeing where the hell this thing's really been.
Well, I
Put
think
a little
that-
GoPro in the cup going forward. I want to see it all.
They wouldn't even
Dude,
let us, they wouldn't be able to put
fish
that
lens?
anywhere in the open market.
I want to see it all.
All you would see was
There's no-
Ovechkin's face, just right on it.
Just
Transparency.
They
I just,
dented it, or they like didn't they peel off the edge of it or something like that from doing too many cup stands?
I don't think they actually damaged it. I think they said they had to stop doing them and banning
Just
them
in
because
case.
it
No,
could jeopardize the structural
Integrity,
integrity.
I
of
didn't see that.
I read
them actually
that they
damaging
dented it and
Really?
defaced it.
somebody dented it a couple years ago, and
Because they dropped it, yeah. Wasn't it Patrick Sharp?
I might have been.
It's
I
not.
can't
It's not a
remember.
stretch to drop that thing. It weighs a lot, like 30 something.
30
Yeah, it's 35 pounds. Yeah.
You know. You could have
I mean,
enough,
if
have enough
Doug
pops.
Weight
Next thing
can-
you know.
If Doug Weight can lift it on a separated shoulder, I
True.
think most hockey players can easily.
All right. Well, going into last year, we were very indifferent about them.
Lukewarm at best.
Yes.
Yes.
We thought they got much worse, and then they ended up winning the Stanley Cup Finals. So now I think they have. It's been almost been like a palate cleanser for us. They haven't got any
They didn't end
better or worse.
They lost some of their depth.
So do you think them winning the cup was more not like a fluke, but
Yes, it wasn't.
Whoa.
Wait, are we all through 2? Actually, we got to actually give our vote on number 2.
I gave it a thumbs up.
I give
Good.
it. I would
that.
buy it.
Yep.
Good.
I would
Confirmed.
buy it.
So
Sorry,
the first one, nope. Second one,
Yep.
yep.
Third one, wild. I'll let you guys
I
weigh in
haven't done
in
yet.
a bit. Should I hold off on the third one?
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
I would.
also we have drinking our first 2 beers, so when we get to the Western Conference preview, we'll just talk. Be like, yeah, these beers. Go watch the Eastern Conference preview. Yeah.
That's a wild one though. That third
but
one.
Bob,
Little
on
tease.
your thing, it wasn't like a fluke, but it was the perfect scenario, perfect storm,
Yes.
and they finally-
Everyone hit.
Yes, and everybody
Perfectly.
and all the teams went down at the perfect time.
You can say that about any cup team. You can say that about
Oh,
the
yeah.
Kings Cup run when they were 8th. That's what
but I
happens when
mean,
you look cup.
it was
That's what happens.
what 10
bounces.
years of
It
being
takes
like they
special.
should win the
It
cup this
bounces.
year, and then they finally did it. I mean, I have them as a wild card team. Wow. Little sneak peek.
Wow.
Our predictions.
Someone had them in their top 5. I know that.
No, I didn't.
Bob
I didn't.
Bob did.
Bob did.
It's just one of those things. It's a preseason power rankings where you sort of have to, don't you?
I don't feel like they were one of the 5 best teams.
Well, you're weird with your power rankings.
I didn't either. I don't think Tyler did either.
What?
In your top 5.
No.
I didn't want to, but most people do.
Well,
So that's,
that's
you
fine.
just
I
read.
also
read the
probably
descriptor.
picked against them every single playoff series and was like, no, they're not going to do it. And then
Yeah.
they won the cup. So what the? Why now?
I don't think they lost anything. Like you said, they lost a couple core players, but I mean, is Jay Beagle really going to be the difference why they don't go back to the playoffs? I don't see it happening.
I
No,
think,
no, they're gonna be a playoff
Maybe.
team, but
I think a couple
I
guys
think-
lost a liver or 2 though.
That is
It
absolutely
regenerates,
accurate,
right?
but
liver regenerates, though, doesn't it? Right?
They're not starfish.
No. Doesn't it?
Yes,
Yeah, liver.
but it's very dependent. Like
Yeah.
if you keep consuming alcohol at a terrible rate,
Yeah.
it won't.
At an
It won't.
alarming rate.
I'm not-
But if you like stop drinking it, you can
Like I
get a
say,
liver
just chop
donation
off
of like a
3
quarter of your
quarters
liver,
your eye.
and it will.
just grow back if you keep drinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think I got him. Where I have him. I got him. Yeah, I got him almost winning the Metro. To be honest with you, I don't see. I think Holtby rebounds.
You think they win the Metro?
I got him second in my Metro
Oh, okay.
predictions. But anyways,
Well,
anywho.
that,
I think Holtby rebounds this year. He had a rough stretch, obviously not in the playoffs, but at the end of last regular season he did. But I think Kuznetsov continues to grow as a player as well. I think.
What did he have? 85 points last year, right?
I don't think he broke. I don't think he was that high. I think
He broke 80.
78.
Yeah, I have.
78?
I think
Like
he
I
leads
said.
the team in points this year. Kuznetsov.
Because he's gonna be playing with Obi.
Yeah, he's just gonna be an apple tree again.
So, and he's young and he's got a lot of potential.
And
he
Nick
had
Backstrom is still
He had
sick.
83.
Did he really?
Yeah, I thought he broke 80.
Wish I could have kept him.
That's 2 W's on the day for me against Tyler.
Maybe Backstrom had 78 points last year. Was what you're thinking of, Tyler. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt.
I don't know it all. I don't claim to know it all, but I know a damn lot.
Not bad. Oh, you didn't even say that in the mic. That was actually a good line too.
I put it.
Oh, okay, you got it
Yeah,
covered.
hopefully somebody heard that.
He
back
was
at home.
multitasking.
All right, so
My
He was
bad.
busy. He's drinking beer. Multitasking.
like we talked about, we're gonna do a full predictions podcast in a couple weeks. But let's go around real quick. Who's gonna win the division? Greg.
Not Washington. God, I hate myself. Pittsburgh. I can't not. I can't not.
It's hard to bet against.
I will never, in
Ooh.
any single game, I will
Washington
never
won
bet
last
against
year, though,
Crosby
right?
and Malkin.
Yeah, they won it last year.
Yeah.
It was close though.
It was the most non-traditional win by the Capitals because they've always like just ran away with it.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh was only 5 points behind.
It was subtle.
Yeah, it was very subtle. They weren't the team that like.
Correct.
They're
Yes,
fucking-
you're
they're
so
going in.
right. They flew so under the radar during the season last year.
I got Columbus.
You're still on the Columbus train. You had them last year. You had them last year.
I like that
I'm done with
team.
them.
You're trying to prove a point.
I am, and one of these years it's gonna work.
I actually
Like the
almost,
Caps.
I almost
Like
put them in.
yeah,
I almost had
exactly.
them finishing 5th in the conference, just to let you know. But I put them in 4th.
In the division.
Or the division, yeah. I got Pittsburgh.
I think Columbus is the most well-balanced team in that conference or division. Sorry.
Babo,
Pittsburgh.
how don't you? You know, get
Cro-
the best 2 centers in
I
the
don't
game.
bet against Crosby.
Malkin and Crosby are so mad that Ovechkin got his limelight this summer
Plus,
Why?
they've had
3 years of it.
they've had a nice
because they like winning.
long
They're
off
winners.
season.
Oh yeah, but I don't think they're rooting against them. Malkin and
I guarantee you
Malkin
they're
was
rooting against
partying
them.
with Ovi when they had the cup and at the FIFA World Cup, right? They were partying together.
Well, they're both Russian. That's a little Russian
Yeah.
camaraderie. Crosby might hate him. No, Crosby
Well,
doesn't hate
Crosby
him.
hates everybody who.
But
Does he hate anyone?
Yeah, but that's in the postseason. During then, they're probably like, "Let's go Vegas! Fuck you, Washington!"
Yeah.
Probably accurate.
And if you're lying to yourself, if Crosby and Malkin aren't rooting against Washington,
And if nothing else, I need to imagine, even if they're not, I need to imagine that they're bitter rivals because that makes those games fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So it just helps my psyche. So I'm going to go ahead and say they hate each other.
it's
They
always-
hate their guts, and Crosby's going to bury the Caps this year.
Crosby's gonna have a fucking year.
Boom! He's putting up 50 and 50.
6 wings.
No. Hard no.
Not that confident.
35-55.
That's very doable.
That's 90 points.
That's like an off year for him.
Oh,
I
yeah.
say I'd take
He's
that
gonna get
one.
40 goals and 40 assists. Give him 8-point guy. That's what he is now.
He'll get however
Yeah.
many points he wants to. If he just feels like posting 78, he'll get 78.
He's LeBron. He's literally
Feels like
LeBron
it.
of the NHL.
I don't
He
want 80
coasts
points. I'll give
until
him
he needs to
79.
pick it up, and then he just coasts again.
But now he knows.
I'm not sure if this. Yes.
I don't think he
agree.
coasts.
No, I
I
don't.
think he's still good enough. What I mean by that is,
Yeah, no, I get the
Sidney
concept.
Crosby is still the best player in the league overall. When he wants to turn it up to 11 and dominate, he absolutely can, and
Yeah.
no one can stop him in the league.
Kind of fascinating. Just looking at his stats year by year too. Like the goal totals fluctuate so much.
He knows his role. He needs
Well,
to.
are you
he'll-
looking at games played too, the injured years? Yeah,
Well,
like the
I'm going
lockout.
back since 13, so he's played at least 75 games in all those
Okay.
years. 36, 28, 36, 44. Last year was only 29.
Yeah, but how is his assist fluctuating too?
Oh yeah, I think it's
Either way, he's
terrible.
over 84 points every year.
Right.
but-
So he just knows, like, oh, I got to score more.
It's just
oh,
a balance.
It's fine. I can pass the puck this year.
It's so fucking awesome.
He's the best.
That's why he's still the best player.
Yep.